this your first visit to the Newport?
I have been to the Newport Jazz Festival purely as an audience member many times. You know, you live on the East Coast, you like jazz, you go to the Newport Jazz Festival. And then you go, you know, to New York City and shoot heroin. I think that's what most people do after a nice sunny day at Newport. So this has been my first time as a performer, and it was just unbelievable. It was unbelievable to be up there. I kept thinking about this special I saw, I believe, on PBS, where they had Anita O'Day at the Newport Jazz Festival, and she had on this fantastic red dress with fringe that went all down the front, and these red evening, you know, gloves on, and this big red hat with little balls. It was stunning, this gorgeous outfit. And I thought while I was up there, it's 110 degrees up here. How does it, Anita O'Day must have lost weight during that set. She was sweating so much in that outfit, you know. And I kept thinking about all the people that the live recordings I have from the festival and stuff. Just being up there was totally cool. Totally cool.
That's a good one. You have a background as a stand-up performer, so does that give you an interesting, different take on how you perform or how you put your music across?
Well, because I come from the world of stand-up comedy, and then from that world into the realm of acting, and from that world into the Broadway stage, I mean, that's what people would know me from, and now, parlaying that into the jazz scene. When I patter, it's not like when Diana Krall patters. You know what I'm saying? It's not like when Tony Bennett patters. When I patter, it's usually funny. There's usually stand-up involved. Once in a while, I can offend people with my sort of lefty, sort of oriented politics, and then there is the big dyke aspect of who I am. You know, when that comes out on stage, sometimes people have a hard time with it. But the thing about jazz is it's already so edgy anyway. I mean, jazz is like a dark, edgy. It used to be anyway. Let me put it this way. Jazz used to be really dark and edgy. I mean, if you were into jazz, you were sort of an outcast of society. Now it's been kind of mainstreamed a little bit. So what I hope I do when I'm up on stage and I'm doing the things I do and say the things I do is I'm returning back to sort of a dark, like, edgy insider feel of what jazz is. So it makes my set a little differently than your normal chick singer. Just saying chick singer makes me laugh.
No, it's great. I like that. I'm going to use that. You're talking about putting your set together, putting it together a little differently. What do you think about when you choose your...
Well, for example, if it's a festival like this where this is a hardcore jazz festival, those are hardcore jazz folks out there, so we hit them right up front with, a bunch of different feels of music, just to say, because usually, first of all, you've got the chick singer thing to overcome. I mean, a lot of musicians think, oh, chick, can't blow, and then I've also got the Broadway thing to overcome. They think, I'm gonna sing nothing but major chords, but nothing makes me happier than a flat 5, man. It makes me really happy. A sharp 9 makes me really happy too. A flat 11, I love to just hold that for a really long time. And so what I like to do is hit them right away with the different things that I can do, When you got up there, you heard a really hard swing on Welcome to My Party. And then you heard a boogaloo, right? And then you had this really whack version of Cool that gets kind of a little whack, a little out there. So right away, I think they stand up and take notice, and then bang, you hit them with the scat number. I've got your number, which, they get lulled in this sort of false sense of, what a nice swing song, and then bam, I blow at them for like 10 minutes, and you can literally see their faces because they're so shocked that comes out of this body. You know what I mean? Which I love that. The don't judge a book by its cover lesson I like to give people when I'm on stage is like when I did the Montreux Jazz Festival not this last one, the year before, right after the album came out, and this kid came up to me and this is fantastic. This is my favorite story. He comes up to me and he goes, because they're Swiss, so they have that odd French sort of German accent. He said, I saw you backstage and I couldn't understand what you were doing here. I thought that maybe you were a manager of a heavy metal rock band. But then you start to sing, and I think that voice comes out of that body, which is that face too. The I'm smelling bad cheese face. So, and he was trying to be nice. It was his English as a second language attempt at being nice, but it was so funny to me. And nothing offends me because, I performed for lesbians for 20 years, so nothing can offend me. I mean, you wouldn't believe the things those women whine at you, so stuff like that just makes you laugh.
Where are you going? different kinds of things. Where do you want to?
I got the next album's coming out next spring. And Warner Brothers, we're actually we are choosing all the tunes now. And if you know the first album, you know that the first album we did was we took Broadway tunes and we played them cool. That was the idea. But there were more modern tunes like the Ballad of Sweeney Todd as opposed to like a Gershwin tune. Everybody can swing that. It is swing. So we took these sort of pop sound of Broadway and made it cool. We're going to do the same thing to alternative rock tunes. Like we know Patti Smith's Dancing Barefoot is going to be on it, and Chrissy Hines' Tattooed Love Boys is going to be on it. Traffic's the Low Spark of High Heel Boys, things like that. Great. And what it is kind of alternative rock, more from 80s and then early 90s, that kind of when alternative rock was more minimalistic sounding than it is now. So we're doing that, and we're going in the studio probably in October, and that'll be out in April. So I'll be touring a lot for that. And then we are in the process of opening a new Broadway show that's been written for me and Jackie Mason, which opens in October of next year at one of the Schubert theaters. So we got a couple of things going on. I got
eclectic thing going where
Sure, I might write another book. I got a great book out there that does well. Why not? I try. If I can get a television show, I will. I mean, show business to me is you throw 10 things at a wall, whatever sticks, you follow it. A lot of things are sticking for me, so I'm following in a lot of directions. If I had my druthers, I would do nothing but jazz because it allows me to do everything that I do. If I need to be a little show busy, like, even in Sweeney Todd, I mean, usually it's kind of introspective and you listen to people, but we do a couple of tunes where we like to show off the belt. There's not a lot of jazz singers, women that used to be a big part of being a blower in those days. A vocalist was having a good belt, but it's really become more about a soft sound, which is great. I can do that too, but I like to show that off, and then and then I can be funny in between songs, and it's the perfect combination of everything for me. And now that I'm playing with people like Gil Goldstein and Seamus Blake, the people that they're just monster players, these guys, and people I've worshiped Gil for years. So to be able to play with them, I would be happy doing that for the rest of my life, and it'd make my daddy happy, my sideman pianist daddy, so why not?